Hey everyone, I had to share Dr. Stu at Paradigm Performance Center with you. That guy changed my life. I was on Vicodin. I had trouble even walking down my block, but now I'm doing push-ups, I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing squats, I'm doing boxing, I'm doing all kinds of things now because Dr. Stu taught me the world's greatest stretch and many more things. But let's go inside and meet Dr. Stu. What's up, Dr. Stu? Good to see you, man. It's been a little while, man.
Absolutely.
But thanks for having us today, and I got to give a shout out to Mark Lobliner. I know you've done a lot of work with him, and helped him, back when he had some of the abdominal things. And he knew I was in a world of hurt. I was addicted to Vicodin. I had, severe lower back problems. And he's like, dude, give Dr. Stu a shot. And I did, man. He changed my life, brother.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
And I've kept up with the basic things. I know we never took it to the higher level, but just so you know, I'm back doing, full push-ups with the style that you taught me, the proper form. I actually just went for a walk-run. I haven't done a walk-run in 5 years.
That's awesome.
So thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you very, very much.
And I love your videos, man. The food makes me water.
Yeah, dude, yeah. So please, can you take us through the world's greatest stretch? Because that's what you really started me off. The foundation and everything kind of emanated from there.
Yep.
And I do it every day. 7 days a week. That's what I do.
Sure.
I probably don't do as many sets as you'd like me to do.
No worries. Yeah. Sure.
But please take us through.
Yeah. So world's greatest stretch basically is a sequence of movement that I use to prepare somebody for movement, and then also to identify elements in the body. So first thing is we start with something called a neutral stance. Feet are pointed straight ahead. They're directly underneath the hips, right? And so we teach an element of balance, right? So from here, you have a straight posted leg.
I gotta interrupt you. Remember how bad my balance was?
You're falling over and stuff. Well,
now it's good.
Hopefully I have my balance now when I do this, right? But ultimately balance is one of the qualities or characteristics that are essential for human life.
Yes.
Right? If we don't have balance, you can't expect to move well throughout life. No. Yeah. So the first element is ultimately shift your weight, really lock this out, and engage the muscles. Again, this is engagement.
I'm doing that while you're talking. I look at your feet and I like it. And now my lower back's relaxed. Yeah,
there you go.
Support it.
But then you actually start by driving up the knee, nice tall posture, and so now you're working hip flexion here, right? So toes are up, looking straight ahead, and then basically I start to step forward, right? So in this position, put my hand down, and again, I'm walking that back leg, so it's all about activation. So glute max, my quadriceps are firing up here, so I've got a nice straight line from the top of my head out through the heel, okay? Now we start to take some upper body rotation, the torso, we rotate here, and then I'm gonna press directly opposite where my hand is and on the ground.
So you're really pressing into the floor. Like,
correct.
This is so good for me to
Yeah.
see because I can already see some things that I've fallen away from doing the stretch.
So oftentimes you'll see people like this or like this. So you actually want those fingers nice and spread.
And I'm going
nice
way
palm.
too close to my foot, so I'm not getting that.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
think I have the line that you're talking about.
Sure. Yeah, so you actually want this in line with the front foot and in line with the back foot.
Okay.
So you're basically making a nice little quadrant here, right? And then so from here, you actually turn from the torso. So again, a common mistake here is you'll see people turn from the shoulder here, right? You actually want to keep this in line and use your torso.
Okay.
Yep, so it should be a straight line. And then the other thing too is make sure that the knee pulls in this way so it's not flared out, right?
Mine tends to bow out a little bit, but I am conscious from you working with
So
me.
you can actually work on some of that.
Okay.
So it'll be some of your internal hip rotators.
Okay.
Pull that in. And then so after that, you bring the hand down. So it's on the outside part of your foot here. So as I raise my hip now, right? So I try, if you have the mobility, you can straighten out this front leg, and then you can actually start to lift the toes.
Now, Dr. Stu, is your core activated the whole time while you're in the motion of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's keeping me safe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So from here.
I love that the way that feels on my calves and my hands. You know.
Yep. And then you put the toe down, drive the knee forward, and again, straight line in here again, right? And then I bring myself upright.
But what's the core benefit of this stretch? What is if you could distill it into 2 or 3?
Yeah. It's
principles.
being able to activate certain muscle groups.
Okay.
And actually start to bring attention to where your pillar or your core should be working to stabilize your body.
Okay.
Right? Because ultimately this is the platform from which your major power generators are going to be working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you go through all the 7 primal movements, right? There's a push, right? There's a pull. So again, primary movement is going to be shoulder.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you've got squats, right? Which again, primary movement is your hips,
Yes.
right? You've got lunges, also primary movement from the hips.
Yeah.
You've got hinging, like your deadlift, also the hips. So again, if you're not stabilized in here and you start to let some of that go, now when you start to generate power from here, that's when bad things happen. You are an athlete because you have to move. So here's the rule is, if you're going to move, you have to move well.
Yeah.
Right? Or else that's when things fall apart. So what we're doing here is really teaching people how to relearn those movements. So if you think back to pediatrics and their developmental milestones, a lot of them are movement milestones that as we go through our middle years, we often forget because we're sitting all the time, we're texting all the time, right? So again, it's the focus of, yes, let's develop the human body. Let's develop performance, but let's do it in a manner to support real life. And if we start to look at the breakdown of a lot of those movements that are in, I mean, I hate to say it, but in commercial gyms, they're not designed for real life, for the average human being, for the top end athlete. Now it starts to make sense, and now you start to see a reduction in injuries. You see a higher elevation in performance because when you start to progress them appropriately, right? And then life is awesome.
It is. I mean, like I said in my intro, I mean, I haven't been able to ride my original motorcycle with the ape hangers for 4 or 5 years, man. If I did, I was in severe pain. Now I get off, and it's almost like shocking to your memory is always kind of there. And I remember getting off, I'd have trepidation, like getting off the bike, like my back was gonna lock up. Now it's just like, hey man, and like we talked, like I think I might be able to golf again.
Yes.
Even if it's a different type of swing.
Yep.
But I love being outside, but like life is awesome, man.
Yes, absolutely.
So could you show us some of the stuff that you do for yourself as your workout?
Sure.
Because I know you work with professional soccer players, professional baseball players, Division I football players, athletes. But what do you like to do on a typical Dr. Stu workout?
Yeah, sure. So we'll do some activation. Actually, since we're here, I'll just do a couple of the walkouts that I do.
Okay.
For mobility.
Okay.
And maybe we'll ramp up a couple of them.
Will you make George do stuff too?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. George, we're gonna get you in on this.
so much for taking us through everything you showed us today and your workout.
Paradigm again.
I know I saw you using Body Solid dumbbells, but I want to make sure everyone, man, if you really want to take your training to the next level, or you're just starting out, or you're having back issues, whatever the issues are, make sure you go to Paradigm Performance.
Yeah, Paradigm
Ask for
Performance.
Dr. Stu. We're in Elgin. We're right off of 31 and 90, basically, right? But also subscribe to a Biker Dude.
Yes, this is man.